Welcome everyone, I'm Dave Delavanti with Informed Entrepreneur Magazine, and I am here today interviewing ST Billingsley of Steve's Auto Repair in Woodbridge, Virginia. Welcome, ST.
Thank you.
Great to have you here. And ST, before we get started talking about your business, I'd love to know a little bit more about you. Who is ST, where are you from? Tell me about your family, your background.
My dad was military, so we moved around quite a bit, and took automotive repair in high school. Didn't really think that I would be going into it. Went to the Army right out of high school, worked on helicopters, and that was the same time frame that Pan Am went out of business. So that's actually how I ended up in the automotive repair field.
Excellent. I remember Pan Am, vaguely, in the past. That's awesome. So what was it that sort of, where did the entrepreneurial bug come from? Did you always kind of want to be a business owner, or how did that happen?
I did always kind of want to be doing my own thing. Even through high school, I mowed lawns while my other friends were working at McDonald's or other jobs like that. I never would quite fit into that mold, so I was like doing something on my own.
Yeah.
And even after being in this field for quite a few years as an automotive technician, I knew that one day that I wanted to be doing it for myself.
Yeah, yeah. And did you, I always ask this question, did you have to double mortgage your house to start the business, or how'd you handle the finances of suddenly getting into a business?
I did pull equity out of my house to help fund coming into this store here. Also family also has invested into it as far as on the initial investment on getting going.
Wow. I'm amazed at small business owners. They are truly committed to their businesses, because when they wake up in the morning, there's no choice. They're going to go to work because they need to pay back that whatever they invested in.
That is correct.
So, a lot different than when you work for somebody else. So I'm sure you've never had any challenges. I'm sure it went beautifully and smoothly the entire time. Seriously, could you give us an idea of maybe 2 or 3 challenges you faced over the years?
Sure. One of the challenges, especially in the automotive field, is people who are working, you see whether it's for you or with you. And that has always been quite a challenge on how do you hire the right kind of people? Who do you bring in? Sometimes the most talented people may not be the best people for your business. So sometimes there's even a little bit of a balancing act there as far as what is their actual talent, how is their attitude, what is the commitment they have for helping you reach your goals and you helping them reach their goals.
Wow.
And so that has been one. Another one is learning how to work on the business instead of in it. It's an ongoing challenge. Yeah. Sometimes it's easier to go back to working in it when you should be working on it, knowing when you should be working on it instead of in it, and then actually even balancing that a bit to make sure that you still may have a feel of what's happening with the business, make sure everything's going the way that you want to as far as what we're doing for customer service or the work as far as the vehicles go, and then also making sure that we're still able to grow the business so everybody can be successful.
That's awesome. Give me a couple of, or at least one example of what it means to work on your business instead of in your business, because I think that's a great concept that people need to learn.
Oh, sure. Working on the business, it can be as simple as actually looking at the numbers, watching what is happening, not just what's in the checkbook.
Yeah.
For quite a while, I ran the business as far as what did the checkbook look like. If we had money, we must be doing okay. If we didn't have money, maybe we're not doing okay. That's really not the best way to look at it. Looking at the percentages, the labor percentages, the parts percentages, what is the car count? Coming up with basically your dashboard on what you should be looking at on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to be able to make some adjustments and see, maybe something's not quite going right in a certain area.
Yeah.
And that's when we're working on the business.
Interesting. I think that's a trap that a lot of people fall into as they're growing their business. They're afraid to spend money and hire other people and do things like that, so they work in their business. They stay as the mechanic instead of working on the outside and looking in.
Exactly. We did go to a coaching program that was tailored more towards automotive, and that is also was a big jump for us for actually really starting to grow our business.
Yeah.
Being able to have somebody tell you, hey, no, how you think it works and how it really works are really two different things.
Yeah, exactly.
And coming from working as a technician, no college, no professional experience other places as far as running a business. Working with a coaching system really does help.
Wow.
You look at things differently and help you get to where you're wanting to go.
Yeah.
Some people get there faster, some people get there slower, but that's okay as long as you're getting there.
Exactly. Well, Tiger Woods has a coach, and he's obviously a good golfer. Most coaches have coaches, so that totally makes sense. Well, that's great. So maybe how about for the audience a couple of sort of lessons learned, or I know we talked about the challenges. What other lessons learned have you had in growing your business?
So one of the biggest lessons I'll say in the past year and a half is one, you can't do it all.
Yeah. Good point.
Two, whatever you don't know, don't let that hold you back from working on your next goal.
Wow.
If you need to hire somebody to do that part, hire them, get it done, and move forward. We've run into those challenges where we just weren't quite moving forward. We didn't know because we didn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Well, there's people out there who know how to do it. And like I said, sometimes it's hard, especially as a small business. I don't know if I can afford to have that person do it.
Yeah.
Well, you can't afford not to.
Exactly. Wow.
So that was a big lesson.
I think oftentimes we also don't take a step because we want to perfect the step before we take it, and sometimes you have to just start.
That is correct. We have started many projects and failed many times.
Yeah.
But what I mean by failed wasn't where maybe anybody else could see that we failed, but it was okay. Well, that didn't quite work, but we know the idea is good.
Yeah.
And it might take 2 or 3 times to modify it till it is a good program.
Yeah.
And when you finally realize that it's a good program is when people start copying it.
Yeah.
And that's been kind of different. Sometimes it might make you feel a little bit upset at first, but then you think, well, we must be doing something right because people are copying us.
Absolutely.
So that's okay.
Yeah.
But some of those things that we are getting copied on are programs that we worked on for 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
And so that kind of makes you feel this, okay, well, yes, it might have had a little bit of development there, but it was fun.
Well, obviously you're doing something right because you're very successful here. I've toured the shop; it's beautiful.
Thank you.
What are your sort of long-term goals? Maybe what is the business going to look like 5 years from now or so?
5 years from now, we would like to be known as basically the premier automotive repair facility in the Mid-Atlantic region.
Wow.
And that doesn't necessarily mean the prettiest, the newest, but where you can come here and get your vehicle worked on. We're going to back up what we do. We would like to grow to at least 4 or 5 locations eventually. Not trying to go down to other states, but just in the area.
Yeah.
And that are the long-term goals we would like to achieve.
Well, you're certainly the best dressed auto mechanics out.
Oh, thanks.
That's good. Well, in closing, what's your favorite part of being an entrepreneur?
My favorite part is it's never boring.
Yeah.
There's always a new challenge. There's always something going on. There's as frustrating as it may be sometimes. It is definitely not a day in, day out drudging kind of job.
It's an adventure every day.
It is, and not in a bad way either.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. I get up at 4:45, 5 o'clock every morning, and I want to come here.
That's awesome.
And that's how I know that this is the right kind of job because I love to do it.
Yeah. Well, I worked engineering for 23 years and then became a business owner, and same thing. I got up at 4:45 before and didn't like it, and now I sleep in a little bit more. But I love what I do, and that's very, very important. Well, this has been awesome, Steve. Why don't you do me a favor? Tell the audience what's the best way to contact you? Maybe your street address or your website or email or phone.
Okay.
What's your preferred methods?
Sure. We're at 2603 Hanco Center Drive in Woodbridge, Virginia. We are right down the hill from Northern Virginia Community College in Woodbridge. Our website is stevesautorepairva.com. We do have a mobile site and a regular website. Phone number 703-670-8005. We're here Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and often earlier and later. But need to contact us, please do.
Great. Great. Well, thank you, Steve. Oh,
Thank you
Steve,
very
I
much.
called you Steve again.
Oh, that's okay.
ST Billingsley with Steve's Auto Repair. Thank you so much. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.